So one of my assistants just called my attention to a particular video, and I just want to publicly address that video. Sorry, not video, message. I just want to give that person a public response. So if you're the one that sent that message, hopefully you will see this video. Now, this guy said that he's a 14-year-old and it's not easy for him. He really wants to learn this. But it's because of the money, so he just wants to be learning for free. He doesn't have money, just wants to be learning for free. First of all, let me address this thing. I see a lot of people playing that card of I'm a 14-year-old, I'm a 17-year-old, I'm a student, I'm a this. Listen, my first response, first thing first. So, quick one. Before you continue with that tutorial, I want to inform you about a few things that you're supposed to know and will also help you. Firstly, and most importantly, I have my paid course, which is the AVE program. So if you want to advance your learning and you also want a proper structured way of learning, from going from a beginner to a pro, earning at least 500k monthly, then my paid course, the AVE program, will help you. Now, the AVE program is the only paid course. I have a lot of free resources, but the AVE program is the only paid course I have. And I created it over the past 2 years. And every 6 months, since the past 2 years, every 6 months, I upgrade the course. I add new tutorials, new resources, and introduce new softwares to the program every 6 months. So trust me, you are supposed to be in my paid course, which is the AVE program. So if you want to join my paid course, which is the AVE program, then go ahead and click the first link you will see in the description. I'll even write it that, okay, this one is for AVE program. All right. And one more thing, if you have not gotten the CapCut APK, which is the CapCut cloned version, then please go to probably the second link in the description to get it now. The major advantage of the CapCut cloned version is that you don't get to be paying every single month. You just pay once, you get the app, and you will not pay again. You don't need to pay every single month just to be using CapCut. It's more like a lifetime access kind of something. But with the original version of CapCut, you will be paying every single month. So who wants to do that? So check the second link in the description to get the CapCut clone version now, which is the APK. The only disadvantage of the APK though is that it only works for Android users. So iPhone users, it doesn't work for you. Although we still have a cheaper version of CapCut Pro for iPhone users. So iPhone users, still click the second link in the description to get your CapCut Pro at a cheap price at least. You'll be paying monthly, at least it will be cheaper. And in case you're wondering, yes, once CapCut upgrade their app and bring in new features, you are also going to get in the new features, the upgraded version in the APK. So you don't get to miss anything in the cloned version APK. And also, we also have Canva Pro, so you can get 1 year access to Canva Pro from us at a very, very cheap price. So if you also need that, check the third link. It should be the third link in the description. Check the description. You're going to see the different links for the different purposes. So you go for the one you want and make sure you get what you want. And with that being said, go back to your tutorial and make sure you watch to the end. Don't go dey play. If you're a 14-year-old, but you decide to be playing in the field, in the field where people that are older than you are playing, then you better be ready to sacrifice what people that are older than you are sacrificing. It is not an excuse, or else you remain a 14-year-old, go back to school and remain in school. That's where 14-year-olds are. Do you get? It's the hardest truth you ever hear. Nobody go tell you this. There's no pity party for you. Nobody's throwing you a pity party. The business world is brutal. You have to make sacrifices. You will need a high level pain threshold. You need to be able to make things happen. So if at the age of 14, which is very nice, you started early and you're like, you know what? I want to go into the business world. I want to make my own money. Fine. But be ready. Be ready to be able to endure everything that business will throw at you. Business wouldn't care if you're 14 or 2. They wouldn't care if you're 2 years old, 12 years old, or 50 years old. For every single stage of life you want to attain, they will throw you the evenly distributed amount of pressure, amount of sacrifices in general, the amount of pain. You go through suffering, no? As long as, even if you are 2 years old today and you say you want to buy G-Wagon, that evenly is distributed amount of pain and pressure and work ethic and sacrifice that you have to make to get a G-Wagon, they will give it to you as a 2-year-old. They don't care. The universe don't care. The business world don't care. Do you get me? You won't get this easy. That's the first thing I want to say. right? So out of it, I playing this 14-year-old card. Me also at 16 years old, I dropped out of school and started to, not do anything in school again and focus on business. I don't even know what I was doing that time, but I knew that one thing I was sure of that time was that school wasn't it. I wasn't even sure what was it, but I knew that school wasn't it. So I was sure of that one. I was sure of what not to do. So I started to stop doing it. Now I was now looking for what to do, right? So I took a very bold decision. I wasn't even sure what was the way exactly, but I knew school wasn't the way at the age of 16. But I wasn't telling everybody, I wasn't throwing it around. In fact, I didn't even like people knowing my age. At that time, a lot of people didn't know my age. Even when I was doing manual jobs, physical manual jobs, people there didn't know my age. In the market, marketplace, hawking, people didn't know my age. Even in the online space, people didn't know my age. Even up to today, it's very few people that knows I'm 19 years old. I don't even let people know my age. And if you are throwing your own around as if you want to use it as an excuse or what, right? Now, one advice I will give you anyways is that for every situation, there is a given advantage. For different situations you are in life, you have an advantage. In fact, if you're in a situation where you don't even have any money at all, like you are broke, you are wretched broke, that's an advantage. Do you know why? Because any risk you go and take, you don't have anything to lose, right? Because you have lost everything. That's also an advantage. So, very single situation, you have an advantage. Now, your advantage as a 14 years old is not throwing it out there and looking and expecting a pity party. Oh, you're 14. So, our course that is 40,000 naira, let's give it to you for free because you're 14. No. Your advantage as a 14 years old is that people, if you're 14 and you're actually trying to be useful, people will give you more help than the average 25 years old, 30 years old, or 20 years old, right? People will give you more help. People will see you as serious more, especially your parents. So one of the things you do as a 14-year-old, you're trying to learn a skill. You can approach your parents and say, mommy, daddy, the world is going digital. You guys already know these things. I want to stay in school. I want to still study, take my study seriously. But by the side, I want to also be learning digital skills. So by the time I get to university, I can be able to afford to pay my own school fees. I can be able to afford to pay my own hostel fee, lodge fee. I can be able to be feeding myself by the time I get to university. And also, when I finally finish university, if I didn't get a job, I can use this skill to... Sorry, my other phone off, so I had to use my second phone. So you now tell them, please, can you guys support me? There's a program I want to attend that is teaching this thing. Please, the program is 35,000. Please, nobody's expecting a 14-year-old to have 40k, even though it's possible in the time and day we live in. But it's not something that you are expected to always have. I don't know if you're getting me. So that's an advantage for you that nobody's expecting you at that age to have that amount. If you're 20-year-old and you're begging for 40k, or else you're begging your friends, the average person out there will say, a 20-year-old man, why don't you have 40k? Or why don't you have 15k? Or why don't you have 25k? Right? So you can approach your mommy and daddy, you can approach your uncle, your aunts. Right? In fact, they will even see you better than every other person in the family. They'll be looking at you high, like, this guy is going somewhere. This my child is going somewhere. Tell them, why is that your parents? I don't know which kind of parent that will not be proud of their child for even planning their future at the age of 14. I don't know which parents that is, but I believe that the average parents out there will be very proud of their children for planning their future. Now, of course, you're not going to tell them you're dropping out of school like me because you're not crazy like me, all right? And you're probably too young. So, what you're going to tell them is you're going to take your study seriously, but in the side, you want to be learning this skill. Whenever you come back from home, when you do your assignments, you will now learn this skill for like 1 hour. Because all you need is 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day. The advantage you have as a 14 years old is, and the advantage you have is time. You have time. Even if it takes you 2 years, bro, time plenty for your side, bro. That's a very big advantage, right? So, you could tell them, oh, please, help me. You're not supposed to be worrying about the money at 14. Because at 14, your parents is probably paying everything for you. So doing this one also is not a big. So tell them, oh, there's this program I want to attend. It's 40,000 naira, it's 20,000 naira, it's 10,000 naira, it's 15,000 naira. Please, can you help me pay for this skill acquisition program? Don't come and be saying, don't speak big English because they are not in the digital age. They don't understand big English. Just tell them it's a skill. It's a digital skill that you want to learn, video editing. And then maybe we'll show them a couple of videos and tell them, oh, this is what video editing is. Some parents say we even go as far as buying you laptop, even though that what I teach in my course is smartphone video editing, so you can just use your phone. But some parents will go as far as buying you laptop, right? I'll probably turn this video into a YouTube video because it's already getting long. Imagine, it's almost like 6 minutes now. And that's your second solution, right? Reach out to anybody you can to help you with 25,000, 40k. What is that now? Your parents, if you're a 14-year-old, your parents is probably spending like an average of 300k on top of your head monthly, right? School fees, your feeding, the rent you're occupying, and every other thing, buying you clothes and all that, toothbrush, all these things. They're spending more than, right? So 25k or 30k or 40k won't be much for them. But if you're in any way buying from me, maybe you want to pay for my own course, it's going to be a big advantage to you. But at the same time, it's your own decision to make. So this advice also applies to people that are maybe 70-year-old, they are entering university. I did a 4 hours live session in January, beginning of January, and somebody was telling me they're about to enter university, but they want to learn this skill, blah, blah. I told him, you don't need to drop out of school. And he was talking about dropping out of school like me. I'm like, listen, you don't have my own kind of craze. You're not crazy like me. So you meant like you don't sound crazy like me, so you might not be able to handle it. So you don't need to take that risk or drop it out of school. What you need to do is tell your parents you're going to focus on your studies, but you also want to learn a skill. Like, who wouldn't like their young 14-year-old, their young 16-year-old, their young 17-year-old to learn a skill that will help them as a plan B? All these middle class people, and if you're watching this video, there are high chances that your parents are middle class, because if your parents are incredibly rich, you might not even be watching video. You will not need to learn this skill and all that. You have things planned out for you already. But all these middle class parents and also poor parents, right, they like the idea of plan B, because as somebody in the middle class, you're always trying to make sure that nothing goes wrong. And plan B makes them like calm. Even normal human being in general likes the idea of plan B. I know that if this one doesn't work, I can do this. In fact, they like you having plan A, plan B, plan C. That's how they'll be sure that okay, something must work out for you. So this is my own personal advice. Do with it whatever you like. And see you on the next one. Don't forget to stay very dangerous. And yeah, if you want to get any of my course, check the description below, the link in the description below, YouTube video. I'm going to make this a YouTube video, so check the description, not comment section. Check the description. I have an AVE program, my AVE course. You can learn video editing from me through the AVE program, right? And learn how to make N500k Monthly from video editing. So it's your choice.